Well, we have a plumbing vent that I guess was moved because they added the porch onto my house, which is sort of the procedure when you have a modular home. They'll come back and add the porch after the home's in place. When they moved it, they set up these, they could put these elbows in, I guess, and lo and behold, they decided not to glue them or forgot all about it. And now look down there, it's on the ceiling. So of course this will be covered under a home warranty. They'll come fix this stuff, but it's just this sort of thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and fix this because I don't even like people coming to my house anyway, because I don't know, there's a stigma about home warranty, and I don't want to put everybody in that category, but at my house I like to take care of it myself. So I try to do that as much as possible, for better or for worse. So at least, you know, I have an excuse to maybe use, finally, this Tacklife little hacksaw. I could cut a pipe off with this if necessary. I'm gonna bring it up there just in case. But you know, make the best out of this. Make a YouTube video so it can be productive, at least to entertain somebody, and maybe try out a new hacksaw. Glass is half full, guys. If you're gonna bring your Tacklife tool up with your stuff, you wanna remember that you also need a blade. Man, oh man, my little buddy that's been around for so many years after I bought him at Direct Tools. Oh yes, Direct Tools, many, many years ago. I mean, I love this thing. I just love this drill. It's been my service drill for so long. Got a Malco chuck in it because, you know, I like cool things just like everybody else. And a Milwaukee Sawzall blade from my hacksaw, and I'm ready to go to work. Well, I'm back up in the attic. I'm gonna take this loose here, both ends, you can see, and I'm gonna see if we have some play, because the pipe is all skewed. You can see it's kind of heading at an angle, and that might not be necessary. It might have been done just because we had this piece of pipe that was a certain length and this other piece of pipe that was a certain length, so we had to fit them together to make it work. That's the sort of thing I think we're dealing with here. I think that's reasonable to assume. But I have my hacksaw up here, and I want to give a little tech tip right here. I bring a piece of OSB up here. I should have brought something else because this OSB, you know, I lost a lot of weight, but not enough. I won't go right through this OSB. This thing came off, it was barely on, dude. Look at that, it's barely on at all. They just fit it up, and good grief, that is wild. So and you can see this was on about half an inch or so. The one on the bottom down here, the line where it has stopped is only like a 1/4 inch. It's not even a quarter, it's like an 1/8 of an inch on there. It's just nuts. So it wasn't glued and it wasn't secure, and it's just, what a pain in the buttocks. See if I can't slide this pipe this way. I don't want to flex anything too much, but I think we can probably slide it over a little bit, straighten it up, and I can secure it with a hanging strap, which I brought up here in my trusty drill. I wanted to break in here for just a moment because even though I'm kind of critiquing some other guys' work that moved this thing and made a mistake, I do want to reiterate the fact that we all do make mistakes, and that's not something we should make fun of or anything like that. But that being said, if you do make a mistake, it has a consequence which you are responsible for. So I think sometimes we start saying like, oh, everybody makes mistakes, like that absolves you from the consequence, which I'm not really talking about this situation, just in general. So when you do make a mistake, and it's really hard to take responsibility for it, and I haven't taken responsibility for all of mine, I think it'd be a good lesson to try to, at all costs, take responsibility for it as much as you can, and hope that everyone understands the fact, which is true, is that everybody makes these mistakes. I'm not a plumber or anything, but I'm going to assume that if you cut off a piece of pipe, and this seems like common sense to me, you're going to get all the burrs off of that pipe, so it doesn't cause you to have any leaks in a glue joint or something like that. Maybe you plumbers can let me know if that common sense is common practice. It seems like it would be. I don't know if there's a tool that does that, but I always ran my fingers around these things when I cut them, deburr them, because we have to do this for condensing gas furnaces as well. Also, whenever I put one of the joints together, it seems like the larger the plumbing pipe, the more it wants to back out of that joint, so you got to kind of hold it there for a little bit. And I know this is going to be common knowledge for probably everybody, but I know you have to really stay on it because you don't want it to start backing out or having an issue where it's going to be an 1/8 of an inch out like this pipe was before. Don't want it to end up that way. Get it right about there. We'll go right about there. See how this thing works. Pretty good, I like that. I don't know how long that battery's gonna last, but for doing a few jobs like this, that thing will cut like butter. Of course, we had a Milwaukee Sawzall blade in there, so we still have Milwaukee's presence. And so we still have that going for us, I think. So we're gonna be all right. All right, I got everything glued in. You can see, well, my leg will get out of the way. You can see it's glued in. Everything looks like it has a pretty good amount of fall on it, so I have to double check that. I do believe, let's give it the old eyeball real quick. Oh yeah, she's looking real good, guys, real good. Which is good because I'm not looking so good. It's been a long day. Maybe I'll explain that at a different time, but it's already been quite a day as far as heat and work. So I have to go up on the roof and we're gonna check something else out. I'm going to make sure that where we're penetrating the roof, everything's nice and sealed. Look and see, make sure I don't have to do anything up there. And here we are now up on Zack's glorious roof, a pitch that was higher than the last house that was here. I don't know what pitch it is, but steep enough where I'm not comfortable. I don't really like roofs. My office is much more shallow in pitch and lower to the ground. This isn't bad. It's just single story. Look at that. Got to cut the rest of my grass too. This is getting in the way of my grass cutting. The grass has come back in good since we had a house put here. But you know, I don't like being high off the ground. Hey look, there's my shadow. Like a child. Here's our vent. Let's see how she looks. Look at all this. Cracked and stuff. Needs to be redone, it looks like. You got cracks running down the side of it. Cracks up here. I think I just need to grab some caulking compound and come up here and just make sure it's all right. I'm not a professional roofer either, guys, so any judgment you have is warranted, I guess, because I just do the best I can. As a homeowner, good times. Just for perspective, there's the office, here's the house, the old truck, old trusty, not quite trusty though, the Odyssey and the GMC, another vent. I would go check that one, but I don't want to. Just to be honest with you. And oh look, a tree we're gonna have to cut back. Well, it ain't pretty, but it's done. Sealed up some of them nails up there. That stuff was cracking awful bad. I don't know if it's just superficial or goes all the way down through, but I didn't want to take a chance. And I'm not overly concerned with how it looks up here, especially as time goes by. It's gonna, you know, just take the color of the roof more and more, being worn out. But could have been better, guys. I'm willing to caulk your windows and doors. Look how good I do. Man, oh man, it's a good job. For real though, I'll do anything you guys want me to, as long as you subscribe and like the video. Just kidding. Whatever.